Alright, what's up guys? It's early in the morning, Monday, July 19th, 2010, and it's time for my review of WWE's first ever Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Now before we get started, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you guys haven't done so already and happen to stumble upon this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button that's right up there, and also follow me on Twitter, especially around these pay-per-view times when I give you guys some links just in case you haven't bought the pay-per-view. You can watch it on the stream. I know, is that bad or good? I don't think I should do that. I don't know. Anyway, it's time for my review. So Money in the Bank, WWE's first ever Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I thought overall it was definitely a big success. I thought it was a really good pay-per-view. Arguably the best pay-per-view this year, I don't know. But I definitely do think it was a really good pay-per-view. Not great, but definitely better than WWE has put out before. So let's go over a couple of side stuff real quick. Okay, so we had the crowd. The crowd was definitely a really good crowd. We had a couple of Daniel Bryan chants throughout the Divas matchups, which is kind of weird. But then I figured, I guess his quietest during Divas matchup, so it was the most effective. And then on commentary, I definitely think my gripes with Matt Striker are definitely continuing. I just think that his commentary is starting to get a little too drawn out. Like, he just says the same thing over and over again. Like, how many times did he talk about the sacrifice in the Money in the Bank ladder matchups? Like, he said the exact same sentence a couple of times during each Money in the Bank ladder matchup, but his quote of the night was when he was talking about how the ladder will react to certain things. Like, how will the ladder react when people climb it, or how will the ladder react when a superstar opens it? I mean, it's going to open, right? That's how it will react, probably. But enough of that. Let's get on to the results. First matchup, and arguably the best matchup. It was SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder matchup. It was Big Show Christian, Matt Hardy, Kofi Kingston, dashing Cody Rhodes, Kane, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler. Now, I definitely thought this was a better match, ladder match than the Raw Money in the Bank ladder matchup, and I definitely thought it was the match of the night. I thought this match had a much better flow, and we had some pretty entertaining parts in the matchup, like when everybody threw ladders on Big Show. That was pretty cool. Just seeing the Big Show trying to get that huge ass ladder in the ring was pretty entertaining. But I guess the spot of the match, and arguably of the night, also was the Kofi Kingston boom drop off the ladder through the announcing table to Drew McIntyre. I thought that was pretty cool overall. Kane picks up the win, and I wasn't sure exactly why Kane won or where they're going to be going with the Undertaker storyline, but I kind of have an idea, and I'm going to talk about that more after I get to the World Championship matchup. But I thought this was definitely the match of the night. Very good match. Very good ladder match. Then we had the Divas Championship match, Alicia Fox, champion versus Eve. Not much to say here. I thought it was above average Divas matchup, but that doesn't really say much. I thought Alicia Fox and Eve held their own. Eve even hit some of her drop kicks, so that's always good. Alicia Fox picks up the win and retains the title with the scissors kick. So the next match was Unified Tag Team Championships, Hart Dynasty versus Usos. I thought this match was okay, but the problem I have with a lot of tag matches is they followed a similar formula. Where you have the heels dominating most of the matchup, and then they're keeping one of the good guys from making the tag. Then the good guy gets the hot tag, and then they end up winning. That's kind of how most tag matches end up. And this one was no different. I thought the ending was a little weak with the sharpshooter by David Hart Smith, but nonetheless, the Hart Dynasties pick up the win as I predicted and beat the Usos. Actually, I predicted most matches right. I think I only got the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match wrong, so kudos to me, right? So then we have the World Heavyweight Championship match, Rey Mysterio champion versus Jack Swagger, and I definitely think this was the best non-ladder matchup of the night. It was a really good matchup. I think a cool spot was when Rey Mysterio did the Tornado DDT to Jack Swagger from the second turnbuckle. That was pretty cool. There were a couple of botches. It was a little sloppy at certain points, but I definitely think that it was a really good matchup by Rey Mysterio and Jack Swagger. Rey Mysterio picks up the win in another sloppy finish, I think, but nonetheless, he picks up the win. After that, he celebrates Jack Swagger, then attacks Rey Mysterio. Out comes Kane without his Money in the Bank briefcase. He attacks Jack Swagger, takes him to the back. Rey Mysterio celebrates some more. Pyro from Kane. He comes out with the briefcase and referee in tow, and he cashed in Money in the Bank and wins Money in the Bank. So we have a new World Heavyweight Champion now. It's Kane, and that's pretty damn cool. I think Kane has been in WWE for a long time, and it's time that he wins another championship. So congrats to Kane. I was thinking where they're going with this. I have a theory, I guess, as far as I'll give you my theory real quick. I think that they're going to do a Kane Undertaker feud, and I think Kane is going to be revealed the one to have put Undertaker in a vegetative state. motive behind it being that Undertaker returned and Kane saw him as the biggest roadblock for Kane getting the World Heavyweight Championship, so he ended up taking Undertaker out and makes it look like other people are the guilty party, but in the end he'll reveal himself. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know, and whether that will be compelling or not, I don't know, but just a theory anyway. So moving right along, we had the WWE Women's Championship matchup, Layla versus Kelly Kelly. Another OK Divas matchup. I think this one was the crowd was definitely a little less live for this one, because I don't think that Kelly Kelly did too well of a job, and I don't think it was booked properly either, but nonetheless Layla picks up the win and is still the self-proclaimed co-women's champion. Then we have the Raw Money in the Bank ladder matchup with Randy Orton, John Morrison, Evan Bourne, The Miz, Ted DiBiase, Chris Jericho, Edge, and Mark Henry. I thought this match, as I said, was really, it wasn't as good as the SmackDown one, but it was still pretty good. I think some of the stars in the matchup were definitely Randy Orton getting a pop every time he did the RKO. He had one cool spot where he did the RKO to somebody, I can't remember who it was, and they were on a ladder and they jumped off and Randy Orton did the RKO. And Evan Bourne also, he had some really nice stuff in here, but overall not too much, not as much as the not as good as the SmackDown matchup. The winner ends up being The Miz, and he looks like he's about to cry. Then he gets down and he channels his inner Dr. Seuss and cuts a rhyming promo, and it was for all the cynics and critics and all that good stuff. But I definitely think this is The Miz's time, and hopefully he can capitalize on this newfound, I guess, success, if you want. And finally, we have the WWE Championship match in a steel cage match. Now, here's the problem that I had with this matchup, and I think this matchup brought the pay-per-view down definitely. All right, so John Cena, I see where a lot of the criticism from John Cena comes from. His offensive set is definitely limited, and then you have someone who's like Sheamus, who's a really good heel on the mic and is definitely improving, but his moveset also isn't exactly the most exciting thing. So when you put those two together, they don't really make an entertaining matchup. And then you add the steel cage stipulation, and sure, the main purpose was to keep Nexus out, but I definitely think they could have utilized the cage a little more, which they didn't do too much of. So the match almost had a WrestleMania 25 Undertaker-Shawn Michaels effect, you know, where you had Undertaker and Shawn Michaels put on an amazing matchup, and then you had Triple H and Randy Orton put on a sluggish matchup. It was just awful. The pay-per-view was going great until this matchup came and kind of, you know, pulled the air out of everybody. This match was slow-paced, went on a little too long. The ending comes when Nexus come out and they try and get in the ring. They actually have like steel cutters, I guess, if you want, to try and get in the cage, but that would have taken all night. It was stupid. And then they try and get the key from the ref. He throws it in the crowd, probably knocks somebody out. Definitely PG. After all of that, John Cena and Sheamus both try and climb out the ring. Sheamus gets his feet on the ground first. He hightails out, and John Cena gets pissed off. We get a little Cena on Cena crime as John Cena takes out Darren Young. Then he takes out Michael Tarver, and that's how the pay-per-view ended. So overall, I thought this was a really good pay-per-view. As I said, the main event kind of brought it down a little bit, along with the Diva matchups, but that's really to be expected. But overall, I thought it was a very good pay-per-view and a very big success for WWE's first ever Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And this could be argued as the best pay-per-view this year. So if you guys got a chance to check out the pay-per-view, tell me what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and comment and rate, thumbs up, and follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, homies.